recording. So the first thing that stands out to me is just like how dark. Now mind you, this shadow should be that dark, but you just gotta watch that shape as well. You see how you lose that stencil right there? Not saying you can't easily come back from that, because that feel like more of a square chin. It's not square like, but if you come down, whoop, whoop, it just feel like it's more pointy, which means she might have followed. Yeah, see, this should be going up, and this supposed to be coming out. She probably came a little too close, but nothing you can't fix. Nothing you can't fix. All that is still fixable, but the main thing focus on is those tones. So that's the main thing. Like hitting it too much with like a light tone. I don't know if she used a tone or a shade. I forgot to even ask. Well, yeah. So you gotta lightly hit the skin to where it's gonna give you like that light tone. Because right now it's definitely too dark. And like I said, once you go too dark, you really can't come back from that. You just gotta go dark throughout the whole piece. But really, that should be light. And to start it off, start out with lights and you ain't even gotta worry about blocking in dark tones like straight off the get-go. Start out with your light tones. Say for example, we're gonna start out with our light tone, go throughout this whole little piece here. We know we got a little light there. For example, we got a little light here. All in this area. We know for sure that's a little darker. So I'm gonna just act as if the stencil is there. All that's light. We got all this light. And you can look at it in shapes pretty much. So say if we go for a darker tone, you notice a little bit darker in this area. Let's go ahead and add dark. Say for example, I was using all my light tones for this. And I decided to come back on top of that light tone. Try to structure in some of this medium tone. Same thing on the back of the neck. Got a little medium tone in there. Let's structure in some of that medium tone. Like I say, all that's already too dark. But I'm just going ahead, you know, how it should have been done. And for future reference of going forward, like don't go too dark too fast. And for example, I'll just go ahead and use this brush here that I made. I never like made it a set or anything, but this is like a tattoo brush. As if it's a mag. You see like it's just creating dots pretty much. And this is just basically gonna show like how you will build up your tone. So starting out with these dots like real small. Say we got the 11 curve, make that smaller. I'm gonna start out with them dots real light. Until you for sure know where it's gonna be dark at. Then you will start hitting certain spots a little bit darker. Let me put it on black because I shouldn't be using. I done got used to using black and not just the tone. Yeah, you'll keep kind of building that up. But also, don't forget you can come back crosshatch just in those areas to try to smoothen it up. Don't just use one angle of your needle. Use all angles. Side to side, left to right, diagonal, whatever gonna help. Like I said, we're gonna keep it light throughout the whole thing. Since we're moving up, let's make it back to our 11 curve, man. Just brush across. I don't know why the pressure not working on mine, so I just turned it down. Look down, we making it light throughout the whole thing. So yeah, like I said, start out with the light tone, but I'm gonna just use this little part of the cheek. That's really like, it's dark. But yeah, we're gonna use that light tone until we show for sure. That's what we're going with. I'm gonna act as if I got all my light tones down. I got all my light tones down. I'm still trying to see what the size at.
This is important, ma'am.
So yeah, say you got all your light tones down. That's when you're gonna kind of start try to come in. Let me just use a pencil because this brush is giving me some problems. I'm gonna just use a sketch brush.
I need this lesson for real, fam.
For sure, for sure. So look, I say,
That's why you need to pay for it.
I can go on YouTube, but he explains it easier.
See, so the light shade, like I said, we got all our light shades down already. I would take that crease. We still shading, mind you. But now I'm just gonna start getting a little bit darker with my shade. The structure out. See how that smile, she went super dark? We still gotta try to keep that light. And then when we roll off from that dark, we still gotta roll off with like a soft tone. Man, bro. Roll off with that softness. I just ain't find the right brush to actually show this critique. That's what it is. See, yeah, see. I probably could do it with that just the.
Would pendulum shading work?
Yeah, that's definitely pendulum. I'm gonna try to shade it just with pendulum, which would be like back and forth, side to side, side to side. Yeah, because I'm making this critique way too long. But yeah, using this pendulum motion, side to side. Like I said, don't be afraid to crosshatch with it. And all this, you gotta keep going, keeping it soft though. You don't want to go too dark. That's your last resort.
Sometimes I use the
Don't go
side
too
of my
dark.
curved mag.
So, for example, in cases you would use the side of the curved mag, like the lips or in these angles, you want to structure this out. Yeah, you could use the side of the curved mag, but try not to make it a hard line. You see right now, that's dark, and it creates a hard line. So it's going to be hard to kind of come from super light instantly into this real light tone. It's probably real lighter inside of there. If you look at it, hard, then it comes all the way light. Trying to come from that dark tone and then getting super light as you come in. But like I said, by it already being dark, ain't no going back. So all you could do is kind of work with what you got, which means we're gonna only have to go darker, closer to that shadow, and then softly blend out.
I would send gifts, but this economy got me broke as hell LMAO.
Appreciate it. But yeah, you see how that is though? Wish I could get him smoother. This part. Like I said, start off light. I'm trying to keep it simple, but I'm getting way too detailed. But say for example, right here, I'm just pointing out like easier ways it could have been done. Instead of making that hard line, it's a lip. So that's supposed to be soft. And by making that soft, I'm just about to just go in with the blender tool and soften it up. If we on no, we ain't on the right image. Basically, what I could have did right here, or what you could have did. See how I soften that line up? It's way more softer. And if you take your time and kind of actually shade it more to actually get it smooth, to where you don't see all those different lines in it. Let me drop it down on top of each other. You're gonna take your time and like actually blending it. And same thing, pendulum motion, whichever one, but you will keep on going, crosshatch till it's actually like smooth. That just show you it takes time. Keep on crosshatching. If you gotta go up with a bigger needle, let's see. Crosshatch. Blend it out. Same with this inside. Softly try to blend that in. See how much lighter that is? That means now we gotta come back with darker and keep building up them tones in that area. That's why I say drawing on paper will kind of give you an idea, but you're gonna also need some practice with the needle because Nisi can draw with charcoal. I know she kind of used to charcoal, so she done did some good stuff. So she know her tones. It's just that she went too dark too soon. But once she get that part of actually going light and then building up, she'll be able to get this with ease. And Nisi, I know you're gonna probably see this. So go back to our light tone and act as if you shaded all this with a light tone. All that light before you decide to come back with your dark. Like, don't worry about all them darks. Go ahead and map out your structures first. like what a chin, what a the shape at in the chin, cause your stencil is there. You just went too dark too fast. And then once you get all your lights, take a little bit of shade. That's what I do. Take a little bit of shade, like okay, I know for sure that's what my stencil, so I don't lose my stencil. Pretty much go back to our light. Gonna structure all this out. All this is pretty much flat, but a way of doing it with the needle is using it on its curve on the side. You'll kind of make this, it's still pendulum, but it's sideways. See what I'm saying? We following that shape of the chin. Same thing right here. So you see like a little bit of shadow. And
I
then it
use
get like,
Procreate. My only issue is making a good gray wash or whitewash system.
you're gonna keep hitting that pendulum motion side to side, side to side. And like if you shading with gray wash, you can really start out fake skin, you could just use black. You could just use black. You're gonna keep going to the pendulum motion. And that's what I mean by that, like start out light and build up them tones. Like right here, we still got our stencil that we gonna see, but we just gotta get a little bit darker. As far as the picture, just a little bit darker. It ain't that light. We just gonna be getting a little bit darker. But I say focus on bit by bit though. You ain't gotta focus on going throughout the whole thing. I normally start at the bottom. So I'll focus on that and then focus on them tones, boom, 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 blend it up. But it eventually all comes together. Cause I've been there, like, I think that was this piece. That's why I don't like using gray shade. This is way too dark to say I use gray shade. But the hoodie was just black. And it's way lighter than the gray shade was.
My next portrait I am doing is Tupac.
But yep. Nisa, hope you guys are from there. Any questions? Let me know what you think, Nisa. Next thing, Nisa, I say watch it and your nose. You see how big that nostril is? And it's all the way black. You see, it's kind of the shape of the nose, but you're going to have to watch it because it look like it kind of comes too far out. But it's probably just about where it needs to be, no lie. Just when you finish off, they'll start with them lights. Don't use your black. Even in the nostrils, like map that out with the light tone first.
So she was only black, like you?
So yeah, Nisa, if you did use all only black, then yeah, just lighten that pressure up. Take your time building up. Just by lighting that side of the neck, kind of almost match that now. Versus, see, I wish I would have shaded without it, but now I can't take away what I did. So I messed it up,
It's a
Nisa.
soft black line.
No trip. Well, yeah, Nisa, you got another question, you on the Discord, let me know in them comments. And I'm going to post this picture side by side in the Discord just so you can see it too.